Canon photographers have long admired the EOS R3 for its speed, reliability, and pro-level handling, and now, whispers of a Canon EOS R3 Mark II are growing louder. When the original EOS R3 launched in 2021, it felt like a subtle nod to the lineage of the 1D series, confident, dense, and designed for photographers who demand consistency under pressure. Over the past few years, it has earned a solid reputation among sports and wildlife shooters. But with the mirrorless market evolving and competitors raising the bar, many are wondering, could Canon release the R3 Mark II as soon as next month? In this analysis, we'll break down the rumors, what upgrades make sense, and why this refresh could be crucial for Canon's pro sports lineup. Timing is often an overlooked but critical factor. Canon has historically aligned major camera announcements with large global sporting events, and with the Milano Olympics on the horizon, the window is perfect. Meanwhile, the original EOS R3 has been on the market for over 4 years, which is a long lifespan for a performance-driven flagship. Since 2021, the mirrorless landscape has shifted considerably. Sony has spotlighted global shutter technology, Nikon has refined stacked sensor readout speeds and reliability, and Canon responded with the EOS R1, raising the stakes for the R3 line. The big challenge for Canon is evolving the R3 without infringing on the R1's territory. The camera's philosophy has never been about megapixels. Its 24-megapixel stacked sensor prioritized readout speed, reduced rolling shutter, and delivered consistent performance in chaotic, high-speed scenarios. That core design principle seems likely to continue in the Mark II. A faster, more responsive sensor capable of near-global shutter behavior could significantly reduce banding under stadium LED lights and minimize rolling artifacts in fast-moving subjects, making the camera far more reliable for real assignments rather than just looking good on paper. High ISO performance is another crucial consideration. The original EOS R3 earned trust by producing usable images well beyond ISO 12800, and maintaining that characteristic is likely a priority for the Mark II. However, sensor speed alone won't be enough. Canon's processing pipeline is equally important. Digic X has powered the R3 effectively, but the architecture is aging. The introduction of Digic Accelerator for AI-assisted tasks shows Canon's direction, yet core image processing could benefit from a refresh. A modernized processor would allow smarter noise handling, smoother tonal transitions, and faster autofocus decisions, critical in unpredictable environments like sports stadiums or wildlife shoots. Improved subject logic could save valuable frames and mental energy, allowing photographers to focus on composition rather than technical constraints. Autofocus refinement is expected to focus on practical reliability rather than flashy new modes. Canon users have always valued the R3 for its speed and dependability in messy real-world scenes. The Mark II will likely continue that approach, improving the camera's ability to track erratic movement, crowded frames, and challenging lighting without relying on gimmicks. In terms of user experience, Canon understands that the R3 shines when shooting performance is effortless. An upgraded EVF, possibly 5.76 million dots LED, similar to the R1, would enhance visibility and reduce fatigue during long sessions, particularly in a body with a substantial grip. Eye-controlled autofocus, already a hallmark of the R3, could see a second-generation system with deeper AI integration, improving tracking of athletes, animals, or other fast-moving subjects. Video has traditionally been secondary for the R3 line, but hybrid demand is increasing. The Mark II could offer internally heat-managed recording with professional codecs, enabling higher frame rate options such as 6K without compromising stability. Canon seems likely to prioritize consistent, usable footage over trying to turn the R3 Mark II into a full-fledged cinema camera. In terms of resolution, the challenge remains balancing crop flexibility with responsiveness. Too high a resolution could slow the camera down, undermining the R3's core advantage. Canon has to carefully navigate this, observing how Sony and Nikon define their lines. Sony separates speed and megapixels, while Nikon blends them but maintains clear priorities. The EOS R3 Mark II will need to justify its existence with speed, reliability, and ergonomics, even if it means modest increases in price, likely landing in the mid to high $7,000 range. Professionals for whom reliability outweighs cost will find the investment worthwhile, as daily consistency is invaluable in sports and wildlife photography. While the Canon EOS R3 Mark II remains unconfirmed officially, the alignment of market pressures, timing with sporting events, and Canon's existing lineup strongly suggest a release is near. If Canon focuses on speed-first design, smarter processing, and improved autofocus and handling, the R3 Mark II could solidify its place as a trusted flagship for professionals. Without these refinements, the original R3 may remain a transitional model in the mirrorless evolution, a unique but limited point in the company's history. Meanwhile, Canon enthusiasts are also watching the APS-C line closely. A recent FCC registration for a new Wi-Fi 6 module hints at another significant refresh, likely the Canon R7 Mark II. While Wi-Fi 6 may seem like a minor technical update, Canon reserves it for high-end bodies like the R5 Mark II or R1. Its inclusion in an APS-C body suggests a larger overhaul rather than a minor connectivity upgrade. The original R7, now one of Canon's oldest mirrorless bodies, still relies on a 32.5 megapixel sensor tracing back to the DSLR era 90D. While sufficient on paper, in real-world use, it struggles with cropped 4K video, limited thermal headroom, and slower readout speeds. A Wi-Fi 6-enabled R7 Mark II suggests Canon is preparing a true APS-C flagship to compete with Sony's A6700 and Fujifilm's X-H2 series. The implications of Wi-Fi 6 go beyond faster file transfers. A camera designed around the standard typically needs higher data throughput, implying larger buffers, higher burst rates, and possibly a stacked BSI APS-C sensor in the 33 megapixel range. This would allow faster readout and higher electronic burst rates, potentially moving from 30 FPS into the 40 FPS range, making the R7 Mark II a serious contender for sports and wildlife shooting. Video performance is another area where the current R7 lags. Cropped 4K 60 is no longer competitive. With a modern processor and improved thermal management, the R7 Mark II could offer uncropped 4K 120 and perhaps even 8K 30 recording, although thermal design would be critical for stable performance. Canon cannot release the APS-C refresh in isolation. Competitors like Sony have raised the autofocus and processing bar significantly, and Fujifilm has smartly divided speed and resolution between models. For Canon, reusing old sensor designs would risk irrelevance. A stacked sensor with faster readout, better low-light tracking, and oversampled video would put the R7 Mark II back in line with modern expectations. Pricing is expected to remain reasonable, positioning it as a premium APS-C body without encroaching on full-frame territory. Other rumored products, such as a refreshed R1 or R5C successor, are unlikely in this timeframe, as those cameras are either recently launched or occupy different niches. The APS-C flagship represents the only model that is overdue, strategically necessary, and aligned with the Wi-Fi 6 registration. In summary, Canon appears poised to refresh both the R3 and R7 lines in the near future. The EOS R3 Mark II seems focused on retaining the speed, reliability, and ergonomic excellence that made the original a favorite among sports and wildlife professionals, while incorporating faster sensors, smarter processing, and improved autofocus and EVF technology. Meanwhile, the R7 Mark II represents a long-overdue modernization of Canon's APS-C flagship, bringing faster burst rates, superior video, and next-generation connectivity. Together, these updates reflect Canon's strategy to maintain relevance and leadership across both full-frame and APS-C mirrorless lines, ensuring photographers have dependable, high-performance tools for 2026 and beyond.